Your online passwords, they are more susceptible to hacking than they have ever been before. And if you have not changed them in a while, well, chances are the scammers, they already know just what they are. Jennifer Lukey has the real deal on why there is such a cause for concern and what you can do to protect your personal information.
Most of us log into some sort of online account several times over the course of a day. The average web user actually has about 25 of them, yet most of us use just 6 passwords to protect our profiles on those accounts. And normally the passwords are just a variation of one another.
They pick simple ones that they can remember, but they're also simple for the criminals to guess.
Over the last few years, hackers have breached networks and gotten their hands on more than 100 million passwords. It's given them real insight on how we all create them. And believe it or not, many of us are still keeping it way too simple.
1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4 5, repeating numbers, 1 1 1 1 1, patterns on the keyboard.
Even substituting a number for a letter, writing a word backwards, or adding an exclamation point at the beginning or end is not going to cut it.
I usually tie my internet password to something that's an emotional memory.
That's a good start, but you also need to make sure each password is at least 8 characters long. And
you want passwords that are complex. Uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and special characters should all be part of your password.
If you're like me and maybe a little forgetful, you may have a binder or a book with a list inside of your username and passwords for all these different sites. But Laura says that's actually a very bad idea.
All you need to do is write down a hint about what that password is.
Anything more, and there's always the chance of theft. And when it comes to how often you should be changing your passwords,
more important ones, we do it at least once a year. To be honest, it probably should be every 3 months.
Actually, to be honest, security experts suggest you change all of your passwords every 45 days.
I have a terrible memory. I don't really know how I'd function if I had to change my password that often.
Most people will say, listen, Laura, I got 25 accounts. I can't have a different password for each of them. I'll go crazy trying to remember what's what. What do you suggest to those people?
So what I suggest is that you pick a familiar phrase. Maybe your love is poetry or Shakespeare plays or music or history. So use those.
Even if you take some of this advice, you'll be way more secure when logging in.
I think the quantity of people doing things online is so many, so I'm hoping statistically I won't be the one getting hacked, but we should probably do more than I do.
Because when it comes to your personal information, you really shouldn't leave anything to chance. That's The Real Deal. I'm Jennifer Lukey.